and you sort of assume like, oh well, this can't be the actual song, you know what I mean? It can't be because I just did it and there was no one else involved or blah blah blah, and like, so you sort of think, well, I'll redo this or I'll add different drums and blah blah blah, and you quickly learn that like that just completely eviscerates the originality or the kind of interest that people had, you know.
We've got an exciting festive announcement. The Ultimate Studio Giveaway has returned. One winner will walk away with an incredible prize list. For more details and to be in with a chance to win the bundle, all you have to do is head over to the Take Notes Patreon page at patreon.com/Take Notes, sign up for free, and comment who you'd like to see on the podcast on the top pinned post. The competition will remain open until the 7th of January, at which point a winner will be drawn. Good luck. Jess and Andrew asks, Joe, all Metronomy songs sound so clean and balanced. How do you achieve that sound? Would you say that's more arrangement or production?
Oh, I didn't expect that. Well, I think I over the years I've just sort of, like Adam was saying about when you do things and you just layer and layer and layer and you sort of hide yourself like within yourself, and I definitely used to do that, and now I think partly because of various people I've worked with, but also just I like just sort of really stripping things back now, and I sort of really like minimalism in terms of arrangements, and yeah, I think in a way it's like the best lesson I ever learned about making music was like, if it sounds good on the way in, like it sounds good on the way out, like you can't, there's only so much kind of post production you can do, so you just record things well, or at least as you want them to sound, and then that's done, you know what I mean? Like so I think it's just it's come with a few, like, with a bit of experience, that just do it, make it sound, if it sounds good when you're doing it, it's gonna sound good.
And you're good. Do you have like one of those? I seem to remember you having a little teeny weeny speaker on your desk, rather than sort of an insane array of monitors.
There was the NS10s. Now we're going to get techie. They got them here. I remember when I first heard anything out of it. I used to come into studios like this and just always have it on the big speakers, very loud, and everything sounds amazing. And then the guy I worked with a lot, Ash Workman, he was using NS10s. And I was just like, oh my God, it sounds terrible on these little speakers. Why are you doing this to yourself? He was always like, well, if it sounds good on these, it sounds good everywhere. And yeah, that's how, like, now I work kind of quite quietly on NS10s.
It's a good tip. And also taking all the effects off. I mean, I still haven't quite got into doing that, but I do it a little bit more. I double track my vocal a bit less when I'm recording stuff, and I take the reverb off. Everything I used to do back in Adam and Joe's 6 Music days sounded like it was at the very bottom of a very deep well because there was so much reverb on. And Joe, one of the first things he did was just to switch all that off on every track, so it was really dry. And I was like, hey, yuck, that just sounds like terrible me. And also to remove a lot of the Logic master presets that I like, that brightens everything and makes it more stereo sounding and sparkly. Joe would like, nah, switch those off and just put a bit of, what do you put on there? You put like what's it called? It's like,
the limiter thing. Yeah, I've got a different one now. I've got the God particle. I don't know, it's called the God particle.
Yeah, but usually, yeah. So Joe would remove everything I had, and he would just put a bit of add limit on.
Yeah.
What does add stand for?
I don't know.
You don't know what you're doing, do you?
No, it's what do you call adaptive, isn't it?
Adaptive limiter. That's what it is. I knew that, but I just needed reminding.
This episode is being supported by Tape It, the iPhone app made specifically for musicians. If you, like many of our guests, use voice memos, then switching to Tape It is an obvious choice. And now, Tape It has layering. This means you can record over your voice notes, try out top lines, stack harmonies, build up instruments, jam with yourself, and so much more. Layering is such an exciting addition to Tape It's long list of features to help you stay creative and organised, including the ability to record straight from your lock screen, set markers, add notes, and add photos of settings. You can easily import your old voice notes, sync to the cloud, and create shared playlists with co-writers and bandmates. So, head to the link below to install Tape It and use the promo code TAPENOTES to receive a whopping 20% off Tape It Pro. And now, back to the episode.
And overall, you know, I always felt like, well, I'm just going to hand these to Joe and then Joe's going to turn them into something. And I sort of, part of me just wanted him to do a load of Metronomy songs and I would sing over the top of them. You know what I mean? Then I'd kind of be in Metronomy and that would be good. But then I found another thing in my journal, 20th of March, 2023, recording with Joe and talking about the album. Joe restates that the charm and the internal logic of the songs are that they're homemade. He thinks they sound good as they are and don't need next level production, backing vocals, etc., which would take them away from my uncanny valley into a larger, less appealing uncanny valley. This makes sense. I remember I was disappointed when Baby Bird made a, quotes, proper album with a band after all those more characterful homemade albums, even if he did have a big hit with You're Gorgeous. So that was quite good. Joe was fairly...
It's quite convenient for me to say that as well.
Yes.
It's quite helpful.
Well, I mean, there was a little part of me thinking, you can't be bothered.
Yeah. But I think, I imagine actually when I did this before talking about an old Metronomy record, I probably said about how there's a sort of a thing you do when you're beginning to make music and beginning to work with labels and things like that, where you have this, you're sort of learning about the process of making a record for the first time, and there are things which you sort of assume are done, and you sort of assume like, oh well, this can't be the actual song, you know what I mean? It can't, because I just did it and there was no one else involved, or blah blah blah, and like, so you sort of think, well, I'll redo this or I'll add different drums and blah blah blah, and you quickly learn that like that just completely eviscerates the originality or the kind of interest that people had. You know, and that like definitely happened with songs of mine. I thought I was making them better, and then people were like, oh no, I prefer the other version, you know. And I think it's the thing that I do really enjoy about working with other people is that you can objectively see it and kind of say it to the person.